everyone. How's it going? It's Monday. How did your homeschool day go? Ours was fine. We're done. So that's always good, right? Now, I told you yesterday on my video that this is PMS week for me. It's very peeply in my house right now. So as you all know, it gets very hard to manage all of your emotions and to control your hormones while things are very peeply. I am kind of half and half extrovert and introvert. I don't mind, hey Larissa, I don't mind being in a group of people, but I really kind of prefer to be one-on-one, which is probably why I love health coaching so much. And I like being in groups, hey Timmery, for a short period of time. And then it very much stresses me out and I need to go into my room and close the door and lock it and open up my Facebook app and record a video for you guys because it's just too much sometimes. You might be feeling the same way. Even for my extroverts, it might be kind of hard to just be in your house all day long, every day, doing something that's a little different. This has an impact on your hormones. I'm going to tell you why. Your hormones are very sensitive to stress. If you didn't already know that, surprise! Your hormones as a woman are very susceptible to stress levels, all right? The first thing that is impacted by rising stress levels in the body is your sleep. So raise your hand if you've ever had issues with your sleep and think it could be related to hormones. I will tell you almost 100% of the time it is related to hormones. All right. One of the things that got me into the FDN program just to begin with, and some of you guys know this about me, is I had a horrible, horrible year. Hi, Jessica. After the birth of my third son, I've got 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. I love them dearly, even on homeschool days. But the year after Roman was born, my third son, I had a horrible year. I could not sleep. It was the worst thing. I felt like I could handle anything, having a baby, having other kids at home, trying to exercise and get in shape, but I could not sleep. And it really threw me for a loop, you guys. I felt like I was going crazy. I really felt like I was going crazy. Jessica said, so it's good to do yoga in the mornings. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Jessica. Why'd you put the word so in there? Reframe it for me and I'll answer it for you. But really, you guys, if you can't get a good night's sleep, it's going to be really, really hard for your hormones to be in balance. So what I want to talk to you about today is balancing out your sleep hormones so that you can balance the rest of your hormones. Because if you can get a good night's instantly, a lot starts to happen with the shifting of the hormonal balance in the body. And by hormonal balance, I'm talking about, of course, estrogen and progesterone, testosterone, then also your stress hormone, cortisol, and your backup stress hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline, that sometimes come online when you're so stressed out that your body has depleted its reserve of cortisol, and now your backup stress hormones are online. And that tends to happen when women feel like they're having panic attacks and anxiety all the time. This is because your cortisol levels are no longer normal and your backup stress hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline, have shot online. So you constantly feel like you're in a state of panic, fight or flight, or anxiety. All right. So to get an excellent night's sleep, few things have to happen. Number one, you have to be properly nourished. You have to eat enough good food during the day. The number one reason women and children and men tend to wake up at night is due to dysregulated blood glucose levels. So what tends to happen, hi Renee, what tends to happen is women stress out during the day. They're not eating enough during the day. They don't eat good foods during the day. They're eating too many processed and junk foods or drinking too much coffee during the day. And so hey Melissa, they don't end up getting enough protein and fat and good carbohydrates, right? So what happens is at night, somewhere between 2 and 4 a.m., so really the wee hours of the morning, the body is dropping in blood glucose, your blood sugar is dropping, and consequently your cortisol levels, your stress hormones are going to shoot up in order to wake you up so that you can go forage for some food, because your body has this need for cortisol. Your body has a need for glucose to make sure that it can function, right? So if you're not eating good food during the day, you will probably wake up at night, all right? That's the first way you can get a great night's sleep, is just eat regular meals during the day. I did put out a guide last week, so if you don't know what to eat, go get my guide, Simpler Times Meal Plan, so that you can, figure out what to feed yourself and your family so that you can get a really good night's sleep. Okay, Jessica reframed her question. She heard that yoga is good for stress relief. Yes, yoga is great for stress relief. Energy expenditure just in general is really good for stress relief. So depending on what exercise you enjoy doing, do it every single day. We're going to get to exercise this week as well to balance out hormones, but today's is about sleep. So if you're stressed out and you want to move your body, then Jessica, yeah, yoga in the morning is a great way to start doing that. Okay, so the first tip I have again now, balancing out your blood sugar. Hi girls, hi Dina, Veronica, good to see you. To balance out your blood sugar during the day so that you can extend that balance of blood sugar at night. So if you can keep blood glucose levels relatively normal, which means somewhere between 70 and 110, then you're not gonna have that bottoming out, that drop between 2 and 4, which wakes you up. Now, a couple of things we already know. Obviously, if you're drinking, hey Angela, if you're drinking a lot of wine or cocktails every single night, no one blames you while you're in quarantine and with a bunch of children. However, I will tell you that is not going to help you get a great night's sleep. So it might put you to sleep, but you will not stay asleep for the same reason. Too much alcohol is going to spike up your blood glucose and then cause it to absolutely bottom out. And when blood glucose bottoms out, especially at night when you can't, go get a snack when you feel like it, then your body's going to output stress hormone cortisol and you are going to wake up again between 2 and 4 a.m. Consequently, in Chinese medicine, the hours between 2 and 4 a.m. are classic liver qi time. And so that's the time that your body is really filtering everything through your liver, right? Alcohol included, and also like too many pharmaceuticals, too many supplements even. Everything has to be filtered through the liver because the liver is what filters your blood, right? So when things are broken down, components are broken down in the body, it has to all be filtered through the liver. If your liver has too high of a burden, you're not going to be able to sleep properly. So be kind to your liver and make sure that you're getting enough good food during the day. Okay, so I do have a couple supplements that'll really help you sleep at night as well, because that is challenge number 1. Tip number 1 for happy hormones in quarantine is to get a great night's sleep. And let's go on with the supplements. Okay, the first thing that I have for you guys is melatonin. This is a prolonged release melatonin. So let's say you've taken melatonin in the past kind of willy-nilly thinking, I've heard this can help me sleep. Maybe melatonin will help me sleep tonight. It didn't do anything. It could be for a couple reasons. Number 1, you might not have taken the correct dose. They range in milligrams from 1 to 10 milligrams. A lot of times women don't take the correct number of milligrams of melatonin. I always recommend starting at 1 milligram and then upping it by a half of a milligram or 1 milligram every single night until you find that sweet spot for sleep. Now, if you're taking melatonin, like I said, willy-nilly without testing your melatonin levels, that might be another reason why you're not sleeping well. If it's not a deficiency of melatonin, then taking melatonin isn't necessarily going to help. With the Dutch test that I run in my practice, we can look for melatonin and also cortisol levels. So I can see what your melatonin levels are doing, and if you are in fact deficient, then and only then do I recommend resupplementing with melatonin. Too much melatonin in a body that's creating enough melatonin will just serve to make you sleepy and really groggy the next morning. All right. So as FDNs always say, test, don't guess. But let's say you're stuck and you're in a pickle, you can start at 1 milligram, see if that helps. If it doesn't, go safely up to 3 milligrams, taking 3 nights to really build that titration. And then on the 3rd night, if you're up to 3 milligrams and you're sleeping great, yay, you needed some melatonin. Now, I do recommend a prolonged release melatonin because if you're just taking, regular release melatonin, that's going to be metabolized by the body in about 2 to 4 hours. And the prolonged release melatonin hits you for 6 hours. And that's when most women are waking up. Nobody's really waking up, between 12 and 1 a.m. Most of my clients wake up between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. So you want the prolonged release melatonin that's going to help extend your sleep and really start, continue to filter into your bloodstream at 2, 3, 4 a.m. when you actually need it. All right. So those are our first, 2 things. Regulate your blood sugar, consider melatonin. All right. Jessica says she's been drinking lots of water. Yay, Jessica. You heard 30 minutes before bed and after you wake up, drink water, but also drink more midday. Okay, great tip, Jessica. Yes, make sure you're drinking your water for sure. Not too close to bedtime because that will wake you up to go pee. All right, so melatonin is our first sleep aid and really one of the most gentle sleep aids there are. The other gentle sleep aid I have is magnesium. Now, yesterday on the video, I talked about magnesium citrate, that natural calm vitality. I I love that stuff. If that's not your jam, if you tend to be more prone to diarrhea and not constipation, you're not going to want magnesium citrate. Don't say I didn't tell you. Now, if you happen to not have the magnesium citrate or it's not the right fit for your body, I really do recommend magnesium oil. You can still get a fairly high dose of magnesium, and you're getting it transdermally, so through the skin. So your body's picking it up and depositing it straight into the bloodstream. Magnesium is a very calming mineral. It calms you down greatly. I will tell you, magnesium cream also can tend to be quite itchy. The more deficient you are in magnesium, the itchier your skin's going to get after you rub your body in magnesium oil. So test yourself with a really small little area of skin first. Do not slather it on all over your arms and all over your legs, because you will probably be itchy and freak out a little bit. If that's the case, just get in the shower. It'll wash right off. But that's also an indication that your body is really deficient in magnesium. So continue just little bits here and there. The serving size of magnesium for sleep is about 1 teaspoon of the magnesium cream rubbed into the body every night before bed. Okay. The last two things I have for you is something that's a little bit hokier, but actually has really helped my husband, myself, and then many of my clients. It's a homeopathic remedy called coffea cruda. Coffea cruda is made from coffee. And so what homeopathic remedies will do, they operate under the principle of like cures like, or also a very, very small amount of something can have the same or opposite effect on the body as a large preparation of the same substance. So what I mean is we've got coffea cruda, so coffee that's in this very, very tiny dilution, a 200C homeopathic preparation. If you take a lot of coffee before bed, you're going to be wired and you're going to not be able to stop thinking about things and you're going to feel jittery. If you take a homeopathic remedy that is coffea cruda at the 200C potency, it's the teeny, teeny, tiniest little diluted amount. And so it actually does the opposite in the body of what true strength coffee would do. Therefore, this is indicated for you if you tend to be jittery and wired, if you tend to be thinking about things before bedtime. Coffea cruda might be a good place for you to start. You're going to take 5 little pills, these little pellets, under the tongue as you're going to sleep. And you will note that your brain kind of slows down a little bit, that you calm down a little bit, that it really puts you into a deep sleep if that is the remedy for you. The only tricky thing about homeopathy is that it tends to be very person specific and very case specific. So make sure that if your insomnia is of a different variety, where you're not just sitting and ruminating on things and thinking about things for hours and hours, that you choose a different remedy and not the coffea cruda. But if you're one that sits there in bed and is just thinking about all the things that happen during the day, all the things that you have to do tomorrow, all the ways you get to now homeschool your children when you had no idea that you were going to be doing this, then coffea cruda is probably a great remedy for you to start with. Okay. The final sleep remedy I have, and this is if you're into it, is CBD oil. Now, when I was doing a lot of CBD oil earlier in the year, I got the question all the time, is there THC in CBD? No, there is not. THC is the psychoactive component of the cannabis plant, and in pure CBD, there is no THC. That's not true. There's like a 0.05% concentration of THC, and there should be a minuscule amount. Otherwise, you're not getting the actual product. Those two components work very well synergistically to actually achieve the effect of relaxing you. Okay, will you get high off of CBD? Hell no, you're not going to get high off of CBD. All right, you just take a very little amount of CBD. This is a 1600 strength, so it is a little bit higher in potency than those that you can get at like Cones and Sprouts and here in Bakersfield or on the internet. But it is really good at just stimulating the endocannabinoid system in the body that helps kind of relax you. Now, when I said stimulate, I actually meant relax. So it works on the endocannabinoid system, but it helps relax the body. And that's what we want when you're trying to get to sleep. You can also rub it topically on the body if you've got any areas of injury or pain. For me, it's my shoulder. And so sometimes my shoulder pain will keep me awake, right? Sometimes pain will keep us awake. So if that is also part of your anxiety before sleep, then you can use it both orally and also on the skin to help your body relax and go to sleep. Okay, we have a couple questions. Jessica says, where can you find the coffee thing? You're going to have to look for it online. You can probably get it on Amazon. This one is a particular formulation that is ordered from a practitioner-only dispensary, so you can't get this one in particular, but other good brands are are boron, Boiron. So you'll have to look that up, boron coffea cruda, and I will try to find it and link to it in this video so that you guys can find that easily. The magnesium powder, the magnesium oil is on Amazon, and so is the melatonin. Now, CBD oil, you're gonna have to find somebody who sells CBD oil. I don't really sell it anymore, but I can provide a link to a company that I know and trust, and that's something you can use as well. All right. Maybe was that our only question? Yes. Okay. I think that was our only question. So that's the things that you guys can do this week, starting today, to really balance out your hormones. All right. I do love talking about like food, and I do love talking about diet and all of that stuff because I know women love it. But really, what you need to be worried about and what you need to be focused on during this time when you're at home is really caring for yourself and nourishing yourself and making sure that you are taking all the steps you possibly can to build your health while you have the time, so that you can continue to kick ass while you're out back in the world later. All right. Use this time as a time of nesting and of nurturing. Cook great meals for yourself. Get great sleep. Ladies, that is where it starts with. Great sleep is going to lead to great hormones. If you are shortchanging yourself and you're staying up late every night watching TV, scrolling through scary media, and you're not getting even in your bed until 11 o'clock, you're not falling asleep till 12. And the hours before 12 a.m. are doubly as effective for the rest and repair phase of the body as the hours after 12 a.m. So what that's saying is if you can sleep from, 9 till 12 a.m., 9 p.m. to 12 a.m., that's like sleeping 6 hours after midnight. All right. So that's a good tip for you and also for your children as we're all home together, to really make sure that you're prioritizing sleep. Prioritized sleep means that your body gets more deeply and more quickly and more effectively into the rest and repair cycle of the body. And that's when all the magic happens, girls. When you're sleeping, your body can do all of its work. When you're awake, you're expending energy. When you're asleep, you're building energy back up. You're creating hormones. Your liver is synthesizing T3, the active form of thyroid hormone, from T4, the inactive form of thyroid hormone. You are creating and storing cortisol and cortisone, your stress hormones. Your body is using cholesterol to make pregnenolone, which is your master hormone, which you can then synthesize all of your other steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, all of those things that we really need great levels of as women to live, really healthy lives, to have enough energy, to have plenty of spunk to get through the day, because we have a lot riding on us, right? Like there's a lot of people depend on us, and a lot of people need us to feel our best so that we can continue to pour into them. Jessica said, yes, moms need self-care. And Renee said, taking naps on occasion helps me. Renee, I love that. You get that sleep in whenever you can. If your body's asking you for rest, please honor your body. Allow it to rest. Allow it to sleep. If your body's asking for sleep, give it sleep. Don't feel ashamed. We drive and drive and drive and push when really our bodies just might need a step back every once in a while and a nice rest. So while you have time, while you have, the means, right, to take a nap, please do it. Absolutely. Okay. So for all you guys who joined us at the end of our call, thank you for being here. Go back and listen to the beginning of this video, because I'm going to be posting every day this week and giving you a hormone tip, an easy hormone tip that you can implement starting today so that you can start building healthy hormones today, because that is where it's at for women. You want energy, you want libido, you want hair, skin, and nails that are thriving. You want to have, you want to feel nourished, you want to have a healthy period, then you're going to need to start at the very bottom. And that's what we're doing today. It doesn't take like a program or a pill or a guru. It just takes, taking ownership and control of your own health and being very selfish, really, for your own health. Like, nope, I'm going to bed. And when I say selfish, I don't mean like you're putting, your work off on other people. I'm just saying, like, for yourself, be selfish and be like, self, I do not need to be looking at Facebook for another 2 hours. I need to be in bed. So do it for yourself. Tune in tomorrow, somewhere around 3 p.m., where I will be giving my next healthy hormone tip that you can implement starting tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys.